Hello and welcome to another episode of Jose's How-Tos. Do you need a professional looking studio-like photo, but you don't have time to go to the studio right now? Let me show you how you can make one at home using just an iPhone and a computer. Check it out. So I got a call from work asking me for a professional photograph of me, but the only professional picture that I have is from about 12 years ago and 30 pounds ago. So time is of the essence and I can make one here at home. So check it out. But first, let me get presentable. Much better. Now to start off, you're going to want to find somewhere that has good lighting. That's why I'm doing it in my bedroom. The lights here are pretty good. You don't want something that's too dark or too bright. So ideally, you're going to want a friend to take the picture for you. But if you're alone like I am right now and you don't have anyone to take the picture, what I highly recommend is maybe use one of these Bluetooth clickers that you can use to take a picture. They're very inexpensive, but if you don't have one, that's fine. If you have a pair of headphones, iPhone headphones or earphones, plug it into the bottom and you can use the volume as the clicker. And luckily the cable's pretty long, so you can have the phone at quite a distance. You just press and that'll take the picture for you. The next thing you're going to want to do is find a tripod or a stand. I mean, you can use books or something to hold the phone up to take the picture, but I recommend one of these, Amazon basic stands. They're very cheap. Find them online and very useful. Now to take the picture, I highly recommend you do it in portrait mode. So go to the photo app, select portrait, and then as you can see, you have natural light, studio light, contour light. There's many different options. I recommend maybe you take a few pictures in each to see which one you like better, and then later we can edit them or play around on the phone before we actually get it over to the computer. The issue is that when you're going to take the picture, try not to use selfie mode because the camera on the front of the phone is not as good as the camera on the back. So ideally you want to take a picture, with the back of the phone, but the problem is if I do this, I don't know if I'm in the middle, I don't know if I'm centered. So I recommend that maybe you get in front of a mirror to do this. Obviously you still want somewhere that has good lighting, but ideally you can get somebody to hold it for you, but if not, set it up in front of a mirror with your tripod. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's the setup that I have in front of a mirror. Yes, I am wearing shorts, but it's not gonna come out in the picture. So if you pay attention, I have my tripod set up here. I have the cable so that I can use it as a clicker, and notice how the camera is facing me, the back camera. What the mirror is for is so that now I can see here if I get too close, if I need to move a little further back, am I in the center? So this is the setup that we gotta use. It's ready for picture time. So I'm not gonna worry about the background right now, even though it's my room. That's what we're gonna edit out in Excel. All right, so I am in position. I don't want to look straight forward. I want to be a little bit at an angle. Smile. Now I took several pictures, and one of the cool things is before we send it over to the computer, there's a few options we can have on the phone itself. Check it out. So once I'm in the picture, you can see in the top left over here that it's portrait. I can hit edit, and now I can change it from studio light to contour, stage light mono. So there's many different options that I can change it before sending it to the computer. And notice that here you have this option to take out the background. I wouldn't use that one yet. I'd rather take out the background in Excel, and I'll show you guys that in a moment. So this is pretty cool. You can even click here on this one and you can auto correct it. I mean, I don't know too much about lighting and playing around with this, but there's many options you can do on the phone itself before you get it to the computer. I'm not a photo editor, photographer, so iPhone's pretty cool. They can help you out. So now that I've moved the pictures from my phone to my computer, I recommend you go through them and see which one you like best. In my case, I think this is the picture that came out best for me. So all I have to do now is bring this picture into Excel. You can either copy and paste, or what I like to do is just drag it over, and there it is. Now you can click on the picture itself. You have to click on it, and then at the very top, notice here it says picture format. You can click on that, and to the left there's this option called remove background. Click on that and notice how most of it is highlighted in pink. Those are the areas that it picked up on to remove. There's different markers, mark areas to keep, mark areas to remove, discard changes, and keep changes. If I click keep changes right now, Notice how I removed everything in pink and my jacket isn't on there, and I definitely want my jacket to show, so I just go back to remove background, and here I now have to select areas to keep. So mark areas to keep. If I click just once, it may pick up on it, but chances are it'll just get a dot, so I'd rather draw a line on the area that I want to keep, and it'll pick up on it based on color matching. It'll look for similar colors. You just gotta keep drawing lines or circles until you get what you want. Notice how sometimes it distorts different areas to keep and remove. So it's just about being specific, making sure that you get every little spot that you want. Now what I recommend sometimes is to zoom in to get a better angle to get those tough areas. So I'm gonna zoom here, let's say about 130, 190 is good. Alright, let me zoom in, and now I can be very precise to make sure to keep those areas in my collar. And if I go mark areas to remove, I can take this piece out. Okay, let me zoom back out. I'm gonna click on keep changes, and it looks good, but I forgot this little section on the right. So again, I'm gonna go to background, mark areas to remove, and just draw a line across this section. Perfect, it picked up right on that section. Keep changes, and now I have a floating head of myself. Alright, so now what we have to do is go to Google and just search for a background. I'm gonna type portrait background. You guys can search studio background, whatever you think is best, and click on images. And this blue one looks nice. Well, let's try this one out. I'm gonna right click and just copy image. Go over to my Excel. I'm gonna right click and paste it. Okay, now I move it over. Notice how the picture's in front of me. So I have two options here. I can either move the picture behind me or move myself in front of the picture. So I'm gonna click on myself, and if you go back up to picture format, this time we're gonna look towards the right. You're gonna see bring forward or send backwards. I'm gonna bring myself forward, and boom. There we go. So let me now center this. Let me move this over to the left. And there we have it, a pretty good studio-like picture. Let me try a different background. You know, you can play around with different ones. Let me see this dark gray one. Again, I'm gonna copy it and paste it into my Excel. Let me move it to the right. Okay, and now let me move myself into that one. See how I look up? Notice how I'm behind, so once again, I have to bring forward. Okay, so what I could do here is copy and paste myself. That way I can compare and contrast on a side-by-side to see which one I like better. And again, I can always go back to Google and try different backgrounds, whatever I like. So another thing you can play around with, if you click on the picture, over on the right you can rotate it or flip it. In this case, I'm gonna flip horizontal, and notice how now I'm pointing in the other direction. So you can get a better side if you have a good side versus a bad side. So there we have it. You know, all we have to do now is take a quick screenshot. If you're on Windows, you can use snipping tool. I'm on a Mac, so I'm just gonna click on Command-Shift-4 and just highlight the section that I want. Obviously, I don't want that bottom blue line. I want to cut it right at the end of the bust, and there it is. And now with this photo, I can mail it, I can send a text message, airdrop it, save it, you know, add it to my photos, and submit it wherever it is that I have to submit it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and just remember, why pay someone to do it when you can do it yourself? Enjoy the video and check out my other videos, guys. Thank you.